Don't resist an evildoer is a pretty misunderstood passage of scripture. I'm Joel, I'm a pastor, and I find most Christians don't know what to do with this. In Matthew chapter 5, Jesus says, "You've heard it said, an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth, but I say to you, do not resist an evildoer." And some Christians hear that and think Jesus is saying you have to stay stuck in whatever unjust situation you're in. But that's not really what he's talking about. The Greek word that Jesus uses for the word resist means to stand against. And the scholar Walter Wink makes the point that that word is used throughout the Hebrew Bible when the Israelites are going to war, meaning this idea of resistance for Jesus is directly connected to using violence and attacking people. So Jesus says, when someone is going to harm you, don't harm them back, right? Not an eye for an eye or a tooth for a tooth. That is very different from saying, don't do anything about the unjust situation you're in. What Jesus is advocating for is not perpetuating war and violence and the cycle of hatred that we so easily get trapped in over and over and over again. Jesus goes on to suggest some different subversive nonviolent approaches to call out the injustice and try and change people in the situation, and not to be a doormat, not to let injustice continue to happen. And so I've touched on each of those themes in other videos, but this is where it all stems from.